Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome everyone. Jazakumullah to those of you who arrived early and were waiting patiently. So as usual, we will start our class with the opening prayer. Can I have G3 588 for the opening prayer?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine too. Jazakallah for asking. Okay, we can start the prayer. Start with Tawuz.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي زدني علما. Oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge. Taha 115.
Jazakallah. So this prayer is from the Holy Qur'an. It is from Surah Taha, verse 115. Okay, just for your reference. So you could look it up in the Holy Qur'an as well if you want. So today is the 38th lesson of our course. And as you know, on Fridays, we have a listening session and we listen to your hifz in small breakout rooms. So that's what we are going to do. But before that, I'm going to quickly remind everyone of our class etiquettes. So I'm sure that before joining the class, all of you performed wuzu. I hope that you're wearing clean clothes and make sure that your head is covered with a scarf or a cap. It is important that you sit in a quiet place, especially if you're going to get a turn on the mic. Okay? There should be no background noise when you are doing tilawat. So make sure to move into a quiet room just for your turn at least, if possible. Next, we hope that one of the parents or an elder sibling is sitting with the student to supervise them and to help them if needed. Lastly, I hope that everyone has joined the class with their correct ID. So you can check this right now by clicking on the participants list and your name will be right at the top. Make sure that it's your student ID and not your device name or your actual name. Okay, I can see some people have joined with their actual names. Okay, so please make sure to rename yourself using your student IDs. Okay, so today, just before we break into the smaller rooms, we have a special guest from Al-Hafizun, Fawzia Mahmood Saiba. I would like to request you to please introduce yourself in terms of your role and responsibility in Al-Hafizun, and then tell us all a little bit about Al-Hafizun as well.
Assalamualaikum everyone. So I'm Fawzia Mahmood. I'm one of the central department's admins for Al-Hafizun. So I help out with a lot of their presentations and events. I just wanted to come into the G3 class as I know your course will be ending soon, and wanted to ask what is the plans for the students, because every year we take new students in Al-Hafizun, and this year again we will be having admissions soon. I believe it's in September. So for any students who have completed G3 and would like to go on to the next step, which is Al-Hafizun, then you are more than welcome to apply. Maliha, could you, sorry, yes, can I share screen quickly?
Yes, sure.
I'm just going to give you guys a bit of background information about Al-Hafizun. So we actually were initiated back in 2000. So now we're on our 22nd year. We'll be starting the 23rd year soon. And this was initiated back in Bet al-Futur, where we used to be next to Noor Hall, have our little Al-Hafizun office there. But then obviously, as we all know, Bet al-Futur is undergoing some reconstruction, and we were moved to Bet al-Ihsan, where we hold all of our classes there. So Al-Hafizun is actually a platform for those parents who want to enlighten their children by memorizing the Holy Qur'an and learning religious knowledge, and just expanding sort of what they already know. So with Al-Hafizun, the word Hifz means memorize. So Al-Hafizun focus purely on the memorization of the Holy Qur'an. So this isn't like the full memorization of the Holy Quran, but it's kind of an introduction before you go on to memorize the whole of the Holy Quran. So each year we create an annual calendar, which I'm going to display on screen. You guys will be able to see. This is for one of our last few years calendar, I believe 2020. And you can see we've got various activities going on. So every Saturday, gather at Lesson, we hold physical classes with students right now. We did have them virtually before, but we're back to physical classes now. And there the students come in, hold their classes, but during the year we have various competitions, jalsajat, and examinations. So we usually kind of divide it into 3 terms. The first term is usually the new beginning, where we introduce the course, the syllabus, and introduce you to your teachers, your groups, and from there you start. Each term we do try and hold 1 competition and 1 jalsajat as well, so that you guys are aware of what's going on, and each term ends with an exam, whereby we have external examiners who come in, take your exam, and then your results are published. So that's kind of what our year sort of looks like. We've got the holidays as well, like the winter holidays, Ramzan holidays, and of course the summer holidays for Jalsa and Eid. So how do we teach at Al-Hafizun? What we've been doing for like 20 years was Atfal and Nasirat used to be together, but now we've actually formed 2 independent sections. So we've become an academy. So we have a girls section who has an in charge and a boys section who has an in charge. And Hafiz Fazli Rabisab, who is our headmaster, he overlooks all of the running of Al-Hafizun of both sections. So we were holding regular classes virtually on Zoom, but like I mentioned, these are now happening face to face. Every class starts off with an assembly. So we start off with Tilawat, Hadith, and Malfuzat. And then we kind of divide into our own groups, and we focus on memorization, new memorization, old previous ones, the lafuz is checked. And along with memorizing parts of the Holy Quran, we have Ahkam and Adiyatul Quran. So Adiyatul Quran are prayers from within the Holy Quran, and Ahkam are commandments of Allah. So with these, we do kind of test the students on the English translation as well, and the Arabic. So it's very intense. It's a lot of memorization, but it's all good fun. It's a bit of a change for the students. We have our break time in between as well. And so the students have a good chat and laugh, and, you know, as you do at school as well. So the usual way of teaching during the week, actually, we do ask students to spend about 10 minutes on the phone to one of their teachers each day. So from Monday to Thursday, you will call a different teacher each day at your allocated time and recite different parts of your syllabus. So for instance, on Monday, you may be asked to recite the 10 minutes old previous surahs you have already done. The second day will focus on Ahkam and Adiyatul Quran. The third day will be testing you on your talaffuz and working on that. And then usually on a Thursday, we'll be focused on the new memorization you have done and setting you new work. On Fridays, what we do is usually we ask students to send over a voice recording. So your teachers will tell you in advance that on Friday, we would like you to send over a recording of this surah or this portion or these few verses. And you send that into your allocated WhatsApp groups. And those teachers will listen to those, provide feedback. Sometimes we play them in the class, and we ask other students to see what was good and what was not, and provide feedback to each other like that. So that's how we sort of teach at Al-Hafizun. Okay, now Al-Hafizun, like I mentioned, is an academy. So you are required to wear a uniform. So the students have a very, very specific uniform, like you do in your schools, that you are required to wear. So for the boys, we have a white shalwar kameez, a black vest coat, black cap, and black shoes. And when you enter, your teachers will check that your uniform is correct. For the girls, you also have a white shalwar kameez, a black headscarf, a black jumper or cardigan, and black shoes. And all students are expected to wear clean socks and have trimmed nails. And for the boys, some may tell you to cut your hair if it's too long or it looks really bad. So just a bit of a warning, it is like school. You are to keep yourself neat and tidy when you come into Al-Hafizun. Al-Hafizun do have their own little bags like you do in school, like book bags. where you are expected to bring your syllabus with you, a notepad or diary, and some pens so that you can note down what needs to be done for the next class. Okay, I won't really focus on that. So like I mentioned, exam positions I'm showing you on the screen. We hold exam competitions. We find out the top 3 positions for each exam that we hold, and we give them certificates and medals at the end of the year. So as you can see, we had 3 exams for the year 2020 to 2021. This is the boys section. They have their own results because exams are done by external examiners, but within your own sections. And the girls have the same thing where they find their position holders, and we again give those girls medals, certificates, and we have like an annual ceremony where everybody gets shown these awards. Same with competitions. We hold various competitions, so about 4 competitions a year. We have a Tilawat competition, and without the Tilawat competition, actually, the first prize winner is always allowed to do our Tilawat for our annual ceremony, which is our big event where we gather at the end of the year, say goodbye to those students who are going, welcome the new students, give out prizes and awards. We usually have a chief guest as well. And so it's a big event which we do in a hall. Obviously, we've done it in over Zoom for the last couple of years because everything has been shut down due to the pandemic. But this is usually a big event, and it's very exciting for the students as well. So like I mentioned, again, you have competition winners. With competitions, we did start doing them together, but recently we have divided those as well. So each section holds their own individual competitions, and we will again give out prizes and certificates for those successful students. So as you can see, lots of prizes, everybody is divided into their own groups. And yes, that's how we kind of run things at Al-Hafizun. Now I want to show you guys quickly, I'm sure your mothers are with you or a parent is with you. This is what the admissions form looks like. So I will share this out with Maliha, and if you could please send it to all parents. If anybody is interested in applying for Al-Hafizun, we are more than happy to welcome you guys in. And this is our admissions form. So again, like I mentioned, we are an academy now, so we have a boys section and a girls section. Please be mindful that because classes happen at Beth Lesson on a weekly basis, it has to be for students who can easily come in. If you do live far away and it's very difficult for you to come in, we are more than happy for you to apply, but it might be a bit more difficult for you to be guaranteed a place as it is more difficult for you to come in. So the admissions form is like any other form where we require the students' details, the parents' details, knowing what the student already knows, so the child already knows. Each section has a bit of their own criteria, which I will mention in a minute as well. But the minimum is usually that they should know their salat with Dua Qunut. We do recommend translation, but obviously students are very young, so it's okay if they don't know it. We also recommend that the child has completely read the Holy Qur'an at least twice so that they are a bit fluent. They know how to read the Holy Qur'an on their own as well. It's just good practice for them. And usually we like to have students who know at least the last 10 to 15 surahs of the Holy Qur'an. So again, here you will just fill out what your student knows in these sections. And obviously, once you have completed the G3 course, you can tick yes here as well and mention the year. Obviously, you need to know a bit about the parents and if the child actually has any allergies or illnesses, because we just need to ensure that we can cater for their needs at Beth Lesson as well. If the child has any special educational needs, again, just if you let us know what it is. Our teachers are very welcoming. We are all trained to help out with these with children. So we are more than welcome to take on every child and to cater to their needs, find an individual plan for them and help them out. And finally, it's just getting your local Jamaat Sadr to sign off and just say, yes, this person is from my Jamaat, they can confirm it. So the minimum age of students we take is usually 8 years old, and the maximum age is 9 years old. So Al-Hafizun is usually for students up to 11 years old. That's why we say maximum of 9, so that they can have a solid 2 years. That doesn't mean that just because you get accepted into Al-Hafizun, you will stay there for the next 2-3 years. You might not want to stay yourself, or if you don't do well, you might get kicked out. Again, very unlikely to happen. Alhamdulillah, all of the students come well prepared and they prepare all year round. And the parents work very, very hard with them. So it doesn't really happen. But it's just to let you know that. Like I mentioned before, we expect the child to have at least 2 full readings, complete full readings of the Holy Qur'an, just so that the child is a bit more fluent and fluid. We would like them to have completed the G3 Hifz-ul-Qur'an online course, obviously, which is why I'm here to encourage you guys to apply and become part of the academy. So if anybody is interested and would like to take part, each section does have 5 stages of syllabus to cover. That doesn't mean that the child has to complete those 5 stages in their time in Al-Hafizun, but obviously it is the standard and that we set, and obviously that is what we aim to help the students achieve by the end of it. So again, I will share this with Maliha and she can send it out to the parents. Is that okay, Maliha?
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, inshallah, I can email it to all the students and their parents.
Okay, great. I will also message you my details. So any of the parents who would like further information, you're more than welcome to text me or email me at any time and I can provide you with further information. Once I receive all the admissions forms, we will separate them between the sections. We do have an interview stage for the students, but we ask them to come in one day. And it's usually just to ask the student what they know and just to kind of do a little test with the students where we do give them a couple of verses to memorize on the spot. So they'll be given a piece of paper with selected verses, asked to step to the side and given about 5-10 minutes to memorize. And we just check how much or how quickly they can memorize it. It's just like a little interview process. Your parents are more than welcome to join their children for that, obviously, make them feel comfortable. So that is kind of the procedure of applying for Al-Hafizun. I hope that's okay. Jazakallah for giving me a little bit of time to introduce you to Al-Hafizun.
Jazakallah Jaza for coming in. I know that there are quite a few students this year who have joined G3 just because they want to progress onto Al-Hafizun. So yeah, I hope that they found this presentation helpful. And for those of you who weren't planning on going to Al-Hafizun, I hope that some of the things encouraged you to apply to Al-Hafizun at least, okay? And inshallah, it will be an enjoyable learning process. So yeah, inshallah, let's see how things go. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. So I'm going to share my screen again now, and we will continue with our class. Okay, so just before we continue, some students have raised their hands. If you have any questions regarding Al-Hafizun, then I'll just unmute you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I just wanted to ask, so I turned 10 on the May 30th, so can I enter or is it too late?
May 30th, okay. So in the form it said that the maximum age is 9 years, right? But you could still try and see how it goes. I'm not really sure. It might depend on the girls section because they might let you in for 1 year. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's worthwhile to give it a try. There's nothing to lose, right?
Okay. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Yes. Do you also have a question?
Yes. Where is Beit al-Ihsan, please?
Okay, so Beit al-Ihsan is in London.
Well, I don't live in London.
Okay, so that's fine. That's why the admin in charge, she mentioned that if you don't live in London or in the surrounding areas, it might be difficult for you to travel to Beit al-Ihsan on daily basis. At the moment, Al-Hafizun, it's only in London and Beit al-Ihsan. okay? But we don't know, in future, we might have it in more mosques.
Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Yeah, G3519.
Assalamualaikum. I just want to say that could I go to Al-Hafizun because I'm 7 years old.
Okay, when do you turn 8?
Next year.
Next
Okay,
year.
Next year, May.
okay, so you will, I think you have to wait until next September to be able to apply, because the minimum age is 8 years. Okay?
Or 9. Or 9.
Maximum is 9. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Jazakallah. I think we have one last question. G3661. Walaikum Assalam Rahmatullah. Could you please speak a bit louder? G3661, I cannot hear you. No, I can barely hear you. Okay, so for the remaining students, what you can do, if you still have questions, you can email them to us and we'll try to answer them to the best of our ability. Otherwise, I will email you the contact information of the Al-Hafizun central admin in charge, the one who came in today, and I'm sure that she'll be able to answer all of your questions. All right, so Jazakumullah to all those students who listened carefully, and you know, the fact that you are asking questions just shows that you are very eager, so I'm really glad. So without using any more of our time, we will open the breakout rooms now, and I would like to request Desti to please open the breakout rooms. Okay, so the rooms are now open. If you do miss the invite to your breakout room, or if you get kicked out for whatever reason, then follow the instructions on the screen and you should be able to join your breakout room again.
Welcome back to the meal session. Just before we end our class, I would like to remind all the students regarding your homework for the next week. So, there is no new memorization. You just need to revise Surah Ar-Rahman, verse 1 to 70. And the knowledge quest for next week is how many examples of vowel can you find in Surah Ar-Rahman, verses 1 to 70? So, how many examples of vowel can you find in Surah Ar-Rahman, verses 1 to 70? Now, we'll be going towards our ending prayer. So, now request G3523 unmute their mic.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Kindly start with Thousand Tasmiyah.
A'udhu billah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma arhamni Bil-Qur'anil azim. Oh Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran. Waj'alhu li imaman wa nuran wa rahmah. And make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy. Jazakallah.
Jazakumullah. That's the end of our class. Inshallah, we'll see you next week. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.